Hi, Erica.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you
so great to see you again.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to see you again too. It's been a few years since we launched Erica's original MN straps in Japan, and you have lots of things going on since then. So that's why I wanted to get in touch with you today, and let the new stuff know to the Japanese fans. I just wanted to ask you, for those of them who doesn't know the MN straps already, how did the Erica's original MN strap came to be? Could you tell us a little bit about the history?
Oh yes, I love to tell this story every time. It is about 5 years ago today, I suppose, when my husband came up to me, and he is a vintage watch collector.
Yes.
And he managed to get his hands on a Doxa dive star, I think is from early 70s.
Yes.
And he said, well, to make this watch look more authentic, it would be lovely if you can make me a strap made out of the parachute webbing.
Right.
Can you do that for me? And I was like, I don't know. I've never tried this before, so why don't you order one of those old parachutes and I'll see what I can do. So he did. He ordered one of those parachute, well, not the parachute itself, of course, the harness, which have the elastics on it. And I cut them off and just started fiddling around with it and made him a new strap.
Right.
And he wanted to make me a strap like the French Navy divers used to make it, just a stitched loop, and that's it. But I saw the metal pieces on the harness and I thought, well, this is kind of a waste to not use these cool pieces as well. So I came up with this design that is adjustable. And he started wearing it and made a picture or a few pictures and posted it on his Instagram. And I think about 3 days later, he said to me, I think you might have a new company because I have 40 orders. And that's basically how it started.
Right.
We had huge piles of old parachute harnesses in the hallway and all over my living room and sitting everywhere.
Yes.
So I could hopefully cut off enough webbing to make more straps. And then we were lucky enough to find the new all-stock webbing. We have a very good suppliers around the world that have actually, I found another roll. Are you interested? And so then we could stop buying the old smelly harnesses and just basically start with the new all-stock webbing.
Right.
And that is how everything started.
Oh, that's a fantastic story. And I understand that your husband does scuba diving?
Yes,
right.
That's true.
And does he wear your MN straps when he dives?
All the time, yes, all the time. The big advantage is that when you go down, you need an elastic strap, because otherwise you will always have the risk of losing your strap, and you need it to expand and to adjust to your wrist.
Right.
And because the straps are elastic, you're able to wear it over your wetsuit. A dry suit is a different story because you will need a larger strap, but with a normal size wetsuit, it's perfectly fine. So yeah, he uses it all the time.
Okay, so I guess the next question would be, when he uses it for scuba diving, and that's a pretty harsh environment. How durable are the MN straps? Are they quite
extremely durable? Yeah, even the vintage ones, because they are built and produced to have really hard work. I'm not sure how to put this in English. It's obviously not my first language, but because we use it as a watch strap and not to hold together the parachute.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's built for sturdier work than holding up a watch.
Right. Yes.
So that works brilliantly.
Okay. Any caring tip? Maintaining the MN straps?
Oh yeah, that's a very funny one. Lots of people ask me, how can I clean it? And I always say, well, please help your wife out and do the dishes, because that will do the trick. A little dishwashing soap works perfectly.
I also understand that your straps even travel to space.
Yes,
Yes.
that's an amazing, yeah. Well, like I said, when I first started with the new old stock webbing, I think it wasn't, I think maybe 2 months after this initial post on Instagram, a few bloggers picked up on my straps, and then, well, it kind of went worldwide ever since. And then about 3 years ago now, I suppose it is, excuse me for not keeping up the dates perfectly.
No, no.
I received an email from a customer in America that said, well, Erica, you might like to know, but in about 2 hours time, one of your straps get launched into space. And I just read the email and thought, wow,
Right.
really? This must be a joke. And he sent me the link, so I watched the launch of the space rocket.
Yes.
How do you call it? And it was in space for 3 months in the International Space Station.
Right.
And yeah, well, that's just the most amazing thing. Looking up at the sky and think, well, something I made is actually going around there. That's incredible. That's really, really incredible feeling.
I mean, the strap has to be a fantastic one to begin with, and you know, the timing and everything is it's just an amazing story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a you can't come up with a story like
you can't
this.
come up with something like that. Yeah.
No, and it's just it's all organical. My company just grows organically because after the initial straps, which were of course only the green with the yellow center line, I managed to find the green with the red center line.
Right.
And that was it. And then my customers reached out to me and said, well, Erica, this strap is so incredibly comfortable, but I work a pretty serious job. And when I wear a suit to my job, I cannot be seen with like a green with yellow striped strap.
Right.
So can you please start making other colors?
Okay.
And then we looked at each other, okay, other colors. So where do we find this webbing? And it's just like that. It's
right. So
the way my company develops.
Right. I guess your customers' requests made all these variations of different straps.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. This is how the new Connery strap came to life. I'm sure you've seen it by now. We launched it 2 months ago, I suppose, and customers have been asking me for years. Basically, after we first started producing the black straps, which is still one of the most popular colors, they came to me like, you really need to make this James Bond strap. And then we thought, well, okay, at one point we need to, and it's a beautiful color combination, and it works brilliantly on so many watches. Right. I'm very happy to have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't got that yet, so you know, we'll just deliver it to the Japanese fans very soon.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of changes since, you know, first you made the MN strap. How did the MN strap evolve since introduction?
Yeah, we're constantly looking to make the perfect strap.
Right.
So we are constantly critically looking at the materials we use. For us, it's very important that it's completely European made. So no cheap materials or materials that we cannot control. We are always looking for new colors, new color combinations, but always to improve the strap. So the first generation MN strap, the one I launched after the green ones, after the new old stock, the vintage straps, they were never quite the quality we wanted.
Yes.
But it was the best we can do. And then after many searches, we came up with this incredibly intelligent weaving machine. I think I explained this to you on my last visit to Japan.
Right.
But it's a weaving machine that is actually normally used to make artificial arteries.
Yes.
So when you need to go and have heart surgery, your new arteries will have been produced on a similar machine as we now use to make elastic webbing. And it's apparently the only machine that is able to do the endless weave. So the strap is virtually indestructible now.
Right.
Even if one string comes apart, it will not fray. It will be, good forever, probably.
Right. So it's a true surgical grade now.
It is. It is.
In a way.
Yeah. When we bought the machine in the factory, they said, no, that's impossible. You cannot use such a machine to make elastic webbing. And we're like, yeah, come up with a different solution. And because we don't want to, and you can imagine this is a huge investment because, and we're making it, or we're using it to produce elastic webbing. That's just crazy, but it was the only thing that could do it.
Right, right. Well, that's fantastic. You know, I mean, everybody loves the, I don't get me wrong. I love the originals, the vintage ones, but the new ones are fantastic. So yeah, I think everybody's happy here.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the quality.
You know, you have vast number of sizes and the color choices and the stripe color. Can you tell us your top 3 popular models for people, you know, for potential customers who doesn't know which to get for their first MN strap?
I get this question a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And in my experience, well, the vintage, is still one of the best selling products because a lot of guys out there want to have the military look for their watch, and that's like an instant given with the vintage straps. But I think the first runner-up, I don't think I know for sure, is the Black Ops. Because the Black Ops, and doesn't really matter which centerline it is, the full, so the completely black strap, and then a lot of times with accent stitching. So a completely black strap, but with a red detail stitching. A lot of customers really love. The sand centerline is a really good color, especially in combination with the bronze hardware.
I'm sorry, which
because it will pick up the bronze. The sand. The sand color.
Oh yes, yeah. That's a very nice color, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very popular one, and it's the same with the Trident with the sand color centerline again. I use this strap as well for Oris. The Oris caliber shear that was recently introduced. The commemorate the caliber shear diver, of course.
Yes.
And that's a slightly different centerline because it's a one-off, especially for this Oris watch.
Right.
But the Trident with sand color centerline is very similar. So I think that's the most, and of course the Mirage. The gray strap with the white centerline is a very popular strap.
Yes.
Well, basically what a lot of my customers do is take a look at the dial and the watch case itself, and then decide, okay, this color would work brilliantly to bring out just the small details in the dial, or maybe just the hands.
Yes.
Or
the
second.
The watch.
Exactly.
Bring it into the stripe or yeah, that's a great
exactly. That would just completely changes the watch.
Right.
If you change the strap, it's just a new watch. So it seems.
Yes. Now you have so many customized options as well. I know we've already talked about type of finishes on the buckle, engraving.
Yes.
Anything else?
Well, of course, the little flags.
Right.
That started out as kind of a joke.
Right.
Or a joke. One of my customers from France came up with the idea actually, and he asked me if it would be possible to make, like in the same color of that I use for the stitching, a small French flag. And I was like, oh, I never tried that. That's kind of interesting. And I made him a flag. It was completely different than the ones I sew on now. But he was so happy with it, like, okay, there we go again. He posted a picture on his Insta, and immediately more customers came to me like, can you make a flag of my country? Can you please make a flag of my country?
Right.
So there were a few flags that very first week. And then I got a challenge from a customer from the UK who said, well, I'm liking these little flags, but I'm sure you will not be able to do the Union Jack.
Right.
And I looked at it and I was like, should be doable. And I think the first one took me about 2 hours because it is like 6 mil maximum, the size. And it shouldn't be any bigger, in my opinion, because then it will lose the nice, cool touch. So I think it took me about 2 hours, and I posted it on Insta and I said, well, okay, challenge accepted. What do you think? And that was the end. Then I just had to add them to my website because I got such a pile of emails with customers requesting the flags. Right. And they make it more crazy every time. And I hold off for a long time about the US flag because it has all the yellow, not yellow, the red and white lines and the stars. And no, I'm not gonna try. But then, of course, I had to at a certain point, and I decided, well, it can do without the stripes. Everybody knows it should be 50 on there. It's not possible. Just go without the stars, and people will like them, and they do.
Actually, I'm wearing the Union Jack right now.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have a British issue vintage piece.
Yeah, it's just I love the little pop of color.
Right. Yeah. It's
just so near to the buckle. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool thing. It's like these patches you would see on a bag or on your jacket. I always like these little patches, and it's like, for me, it's like a similar feel.
And you're still taking orders for these flags?
Yes.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
Yes, and we now have added on the website an extra option for the flags that are simply impossible, because as you know, I stitched them by hand, and it's not possible for me to do like circular lines. It needs to be straight lines.
Right.
So the flags that I cannot stitch simply because they're too complicated, I have the option of engraving them.
Right. Yes, I saw that. Yes. Very nice. Yes. Now I know you've could you tell us some of the watch brands that you have worked with in the past?
Of course.
Yeah.
I started out with Sarpaneva. I'm actually wearing a watch myself. Let me see if I can get this in the picture.
Oh, very
I'm
nice.
Not sure if you're familiar with the watch.
Yes.
This watch was made especially for the anniversary of the Finnish Air Force.
Yes.
And they only made 100 pieces. And as soon as I saw the design, because Stepan reached out to me, say, I need a special strap to go with this watch. Can you help me? And I said, well, I can, but you have to reserve me one of these watches. So that was the very first brand that actually wore my straps. And second was Bell & Ross.
Yes.
Who reached out to me, and they, I think it was the year we met in Basel when they introduced the very first strap on their watches.
So.
And I think by at this time they have 4 different straps in their collection.
Right.
And then the last collaboration was with Oris, which I'm very proud of, and was launched only 2 months ago.
Right.
For the Carl Brashear limited edition.
Yes.
That's a really great combo. I really like that combo. Actually, I ordered the strap myself, and I would be so happy to be able to show it to you today, but it's still on its way to Bulgaria.
Oh, I see.
So I haven't received it yet. Yeah, that's a pity, but maybe next time.
Okay. We'll get that in next time.
Yeah, okay, we will.
Great. Any other future plans?
Oh, I have a lot of plans. I'm always planning ahead and trying to come up with new great ideas. And yes, there is another collaboration coming, but I cannot reveal anything about it at this time.
No secret, huh?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, we we look forward to that, and let us know when you can share that with us.
Absolutely. Okay. I will. You will be among the first to know, of course.
Right. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for your time, Erica.
Well, thank you for making the effort to call me. Bye-bye.